you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So you saw that little intro and the comments. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to do a recap of Bangkok because I stayed there 7 days. Usually I don't stay there that long. So I formulated a kind of a different opinion. So let's talk about that, and then we'll talk about the other thing. When I kickstart my trip off, I always stop in Bangkok for at least 2 to 3 days. I feel that there's a couple of things there regarding like unwinding, the adult entertainment, and then I kind of beeline to Pattaya where I have my condominium. So this time around, I basically stayed there a week. This was not planned, but what I could tell you is, that if you're venturing to live in Bangkok, I know a couple of people that actually moved from Pattaya to Bangkok, and their reasoning was, hey guys, I just wanted to catch your attention for a minute. I was looking at the analytics and I see a lot of viewers, but it doesn't really coincide with how many subscribers I have. If you can support the channel, consider subscribing. I also partnered up with Buy Me a Coffee. So if you feel the information is valuable and you like what I'm doing with the channel and you want to support it, that's also another way that you can help me out regarding creating content, moving from point A to point B. And they said that their reason is that dating was better in Bangkok. So if you walk the streets either at like 12 o'clock during lunchtime or when people get off after work, 6, 7 o'clock, you will see quite an impressive cadre, if you would, of individuals regarding dating. And also, it's a little bit more so normal than as opposed to Pattaya, meaning that the girls work, may have normal jobs. So something to consider about Bangkok is that if you're venturing to come to Thailand long term, that Bangkok, one of the allures there is actually dating someone seriously, if that's what you're looking to do. So I started highlighting something positive. If you follow the channel, it's not really like me. I'm in a little bit of a very peaceful mood because the weather in Bangkok and also Pattaya, we're filming right now in January of 25. I've never seen weather this pleasant in a long time. So just keep that in mind. Pay attention to the weather if you're looking to venture down here. But on the negative, if you're someone who's looking to eat, I'm not saying you're going to be frugal, but the food, I mean, if you want to try to be healthy in Bangkok, it would cost you an arm and a leg. And I'm even willing to say that it's more expensive than the United States when it comes to kind of intaking food. Don't get me wrong, there's places like Pure Prep, and there's a couple of places that are hidden that you can maybe get that kind of healthy bodybuilder style, meals in. So once again, negatively, then we talk about there's particular groups, once again, that have saturated, even more so than the last time that I was here, that have saturated this region. And me, I try to kind of put myself in a little bit of a bubble, even when I'm back home, that if you can negotiate other human beings and you can kind of try to figure out how to tune everything out, you'll have a much better existence on this earth. So in Bangkok, you got the tourists, you got the people kind of escaping from these war-torn countries. So that's a little bit, once again, of the negative. But now let's try to flip back to something positive if we can. So when I segue to something positive, I showed you a little bit of an introduction with some commentary that was in basically the link or the bio of this particular Instagram excerpt. So now the positive for you, if you're a male that's watching, something I spoke about probably briefly. And it's something that I've noticed. Now, if you're someone who's not Thai, and you still kind of have that uppity kind of, when you walk down the street, that you're basically, hold on, smother, that you're basically, maybe a negative is there's flies that could crawl on you at any moment, is if you're a female from any other part of the country that's not Asian and you come down here, do you become a 4 if you were a 7? Well, here's my take on it, and that's why I'm doing the video. Is that if you're someone with this kind of this attitude or kind of snobbish and uppity, I would look to deselect that, because if this is obviously something for the ladies, this video, because let's talk about what guys want. Obviously they want a relationship, but at the end of the day, it's probably something physical they want from a woman. And also, if you're someone looking to absorb someone's finances and kind of play that game like you're back home and that you have leverage over a man, the problem is why you become a 4 or not really sought after is that, number one, a lot of guys coming down here got yellow fever, which means on the hierarchy of things, they're looking for someone Asian. Number two is, like I always say, if things are transactional, even to you, if you're a lady that's watching, the buy-in is much cheaper. So you may have to take yourself down a little bit and say, you know what? I'm not back home. I'm not in Kansas anymore. You know, if this is a Wizard of Oz, and you got to kind of choke it up or chalk it up to the fact that geography is quite important when it comes to dating a relationship. But also at times I'll kind of speak to, both sides of things. It's only fair. Now, most of the people that, you're basically in a very warm climate, blah, 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 is that everyone is so, charged up down here in Thailand. Cialis is over the counter, testosterone. So, no matter who you are, if you're a great looking girl in your country, you might be, once again, if you're a 9, you're a 9. It could be, but once again, I think what these people were referring to is that the attitude that you're running the table, if a guy's really only looking to close the deal, so to speak, then he's, it doesn't matter how hot you are. If you start saying this, you want that, he'll totally dismiss you down here because he knows if he's been in a region, I'll just move on to something a lot easier. It's just that if you're in your particular country where things are kind of normal, it's going to be one of those things that you have to play this game and stay in line regarding dealing with women and vice versa, dealing with men, if we're having that conversation. But all I could say is everyone stop being delusional, be nice, treat everyone nice. And, like I said, I really feel bad. I'm 48 years old. I feel bad for kids that are growing up that are in their 20s, like, because the things that you have to deal with, like I say, cash at me, oh, you got Venmo, throw me some money. And I don't, like, you don't even know the person and they're looking basically for a revenue stream. And certain guys do fall into this. They call that, being a simp or whatever it might be. But all I could say is that regarding this particular thing, stop it. Once again, be nice. If you're a female, just stop with the attitude. Stop. It's okay. Don't be delusional.